What is up, everyone? I have a lot to say. Basically, what just happened about 24 hours ago is there has been another huge leak of nudes from another batch of really A-list famous celebrities. And this is only 3 weeks before the prior leak, and I did a whole video on that. So check that out. But long story short, what happened 3 weeks ago was some hacker hacked into Apple's iCloud and legit took about 50 to 100 photos from 30 plus actors or celebrities of some sort, or models or actresses, and 99% of them, if not 100%, were females. No one cares about the male nudes. And then released these things. And so that happened 3 weeks ago, and it blew up on the internet. People were calling iCloud bad, yada yada yada. Now, 3 weeks later, another upsurge has occurred, and this time there's even more new celebrities, and it's very interesting because these are actually well-known names. Demi Lovato, there's athletes too, Hope Solo, and some of these people cannot escape what has been seen because it's very clear that it is them. There's also Kim Kardashian and not hundreds, but dozens of others that are very well known. And you know, bringing this up, it really made me think about it, because first I was like, okay, this just proves that a lot of females are really horny, sexualized individuals, and what they appear to others isn't what they actually are. And I'm just like, if these celebrities, knowing how risky it is to take these pictures, are taking so many, and Jennifer Lawrence is like the biggest perpetrator. 3 weeks ago, about 30-40 pictures of her were released. Apparently 30, 40, 50 more nudes of her were released, as well as Kate Upton and Kim Kardashian. And it's just like, this girl legitly takes nude pictures of herself all the time. It's not just one picture, it's like legitimately her throughout. And you know, that's their private stuff, and you know, it's no one has any business seeing that publicly. And some of these people are getting mad and suing Apple for the damages. One of the models, who apparently is not part of this scandal, but apparently she was lesser known, she had her nudes leaked months before all this occurred, and now she's starting to sue with the upheaval of all these more famous people doing this, getting their nudes leaked. So it's like, what is going on? Hundreds of these people are doing this sort of thing, and it's just like, if these people, knowing how risky it is, are doing all these pictures, like, what do you think will happen if whoever Jennifer Lawrence or any other celebrity is sending these dozens and dozens of pictures to? Do they really think that it's not going to get out? Like, even if you take two non-famous people, just like random people, random teenagers, most of the time when you talk about situations like that, when the girl sends the nude picture, even if the guy promises he won't show it to anyone, the story always goes that it just gets leaked everywhere, and then half the school finds out about it. So it's just like, what the heck is going on? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm sure a whole bunch of pictures like this never see the light of day. They just stay between the couple, which also makes me wonder, good God knows how many nudes are out there. Who knows? But it is just crazy. Recently I went to this event. It was like this sort of activity scavenger hunt, and I talked about this in my video 3 weeks ago. Basically, it was a bunch of adults there who were there on vacation, and they just seemed like normal people. Then all of a sudden, one of the scavenger hunt items, and this was obviously adults, 21 plus game, one of the scavenger hunt items was bring up to me in the next 5 seconds or something like that a nude or erotic picture that was taken by you or sent to you. I think it was sent to you. It wasn't taken by you. And like almost everyone got up. It was just crazy. So that in itself is just ridiculous. On top of that though, let's just talk about some of these actors. Vanessa Hudgens is another one that was apparently released recently, and if you guys are trying to search it up, it's actually hard to find. I think what's occurred is the lawyers have shut them down or just taken them off. But I'm sure if you look hard enough, you will find them. I haven't really looked at these new pictures, but I'm sure once they're on the internet, it's almost impossible to take off. But regardless, though, Vanessa Hudgens was one of the first to bring about this nude scandal thing. She was an actress on the Disney Channel, very well known for her movie High School Musical, and that was like her big breakthrough movie. And this occurred a few years ago, and basically after the movie, like 2 pictures of her completely naked, a frontal picture of her taken by her boyfriend, who was also in the movie, Zac Efron, were leaked on the internet. And it was this huge scandal because Disney had this image of, Disney, very lovey-dovey, child-friendly, and this whole scandal took place that shook the world and shook the other cast members of Disney. Apparently later on, a lot of the Disney actors and actresses that came out of there, Jonas Brothers and Miley Cyrus and so forth, remarked on the scene and just said how after that occurred, a lot of the staff and upper management of Disney were like, how don't ever do anything like this, don't set a bad example like this, and it really just scared them. And so apparently Vanessa Hudgens, she got some more nudes leaked as well in this latest batch. And it's just like, okay, I guess she didn't learn her lesson. She's still putting them out there. And apparently there are high A-list celebrities out there like Rihanna, Kim Kardashian, that and on and on and on that were released in the last 24 hours, and these were hacked. And it's just like, how can you even go about sending so many, or just even 1 or 2, knowing how risky it is? And it makes you wonder, perhaps they want it to be leaked one day, or 2, they're just stupid, or 3, it's just like who knows what the heck's going on. But it just doesn't make sense, because it's like, how risky it is, and if these A-list celebrities are doing it, it's just like, what else is out there? What about the average person? God knows how many nudes are going about. And so it's just very strange what's going on, and I think it's interesting because apparently this has been going on where a trading circle of nudes between like these elite hackers off 4chan has been going on for years. So a lot of these nude celebrity pictures have been apparently stored in some of these elite hackers' computers for years. And I guess it was just in the last month where they decided to release them. So they may be old pictures, and they may be years old. And I think this is actually a common thing, just the concept of some inner circle on the internet having some sort of exploitation and keeping it hush hush, and all of a sudden one person, for whatever reason, money is a huge incentive, decides, hey, I'm going to push the limits and release this sort of thing to get money, even though I could potentially get in trouble for it. there's so many examples of this. It happened in my video games like RuneScape. There's just like exploitation methods of making a lot of RuneScape gold that was in an elite inner circle, and then one day someone wanted to make a lot of money from it, so he sold the technique. It got leaked, and then everyone found out about it, and then RuneScape itself the staff found out, and they shut it down. That sort of stuff happens all the time, not just games, but like other stuff like League of Legends. Also, they had a thing where there's an exploitation among these elite hackers where they you could basically buy skins, which were like you had to pay for them, but exploit it and get a lot of skins for free. And it was hush hush underground for many years, and then some guy tried to sell the skins and create a business off of it, and then that they just came down hard, and the foot came down, and it ended all of it. So is Apple going to come down hard and end all this? I don't think Apple is really that big foot, because leaked nudes or leaked sex tapes or whatever are not something that can just be stopped from one platform. If it's not Apple, it's Samsung, or someone stealing a camera from a hotel room, or just some elite hacker hacking into your internet and then downloading it off your computer. So Apple in itself is not like the main culprit. Like this sort of thing just naturally will happen over time. Apple obviously wants to maintain its reputation, so it will probably do some things about it. The CEO Tim Cook's already said some stuff about how it's been investigated, and it's not like their fault because it wasn't a security breach, and they want to protect from lawsuits and so forth, so they don't lose money. But Apple in itself is not going to solve this. It's just natural. Like there's been many cases in history, and it's from a variety of sources. And so you know, it's very strange, because some celebrities are denying it, others kind of have to admit it, and then others were smart enough not to include their faces, but they have such distinct tattoos and other features that it's like it's very clear it's them, and denying it is like strange. So it's you know, it's this whole thing going on, and I mean, I honestly, like, first off, as far as this stuff goes, first off, it's just like naked people. It's like it's cool and stuff, but it's like, okay, if you want that sort of stuff, you can find it on the internet. And quite frankly, a lot of these celebrities that are like looked at as so extremely attractive, it's really like, no, there's like I've seen them, and it's just like there are so many people that are not famous out there who are probably more attractive. And you know, quite honestly, like a lot of these celebrities are just like not that attractive when you really look at them. So it's just like you know, it kind of sucks. And I think the hype is really just coming from the fact that it's not just a nude body, because you can get that on the internet. It's a familiar face to the body, and a reputation that's being tainted, and I guess just people that you know, that's from the media and companies, you know, presented as amazing, almost sex goddesses, or the cream of the crop, and then their nudes are being leaked and so forth. And I think, you know, first off, it's somewhat of an invasion of privacy, but at the same time, it's like, what the heck is going on? If you like you guys, if you don't know enough to not even do this sort of thing, like it's not like you are no names out there. You are really well known people. So it's kind of like they do it, and even if you disregarded all those factors of being hacked or getting it stolen, it's just that whole idea of like, do you really trust the person you're sending enough to not just send one, but dozens upon dozens upon dozens? Or it could be potentially be multiple people. I mean, Jennifer Lawrence is the biggest culprit here, and who knows if it's actually going to hurt her. Like, it was a good point that's brought up. It's like, if you look at history, like a lot of celebrities have benefited. Not saying some haven't been hurt and completely hurt and not benefited at all from it, but some of them have been benefited from this, and it sometimes washes over. So we'll see where it goes. I don't think Jennifer Lawrence is completely out of the picture or her career is ruined, but it is ridiculous how this is going down, and it's just like, it's very surprising how these people trust others to send these things. And it's just like, okay, if these big celebrities are doing it, it's just like, man, there's some lucky guys out there. God knows how they convinced all these people, but it seems to be some sort of natural human tendency. And on top of that, it's like, man, if these random guys can convince these celebrities, like, heck, if you're just some random dude, you could probably convince a pretty attractive girl to do this if that's what you're looking for. If you want nudes, you can probably figure it out with some girl who's just as attractive, if not more attractive, but not famous at all. So, yeah. And then finally, I just want to remark on a few of these people who had these nudes leaked. Obviously, I already mentioned Kim Kardashian, Jennifer Lawrence, and Demi Lovato, as well as Vanessa Hudgens. Like, these people, it's just like somewhat ridiculous, but I don't think it's going to matter too much. There's a lot of apparently like celebrities and models that no one's ever heard of, that are famous and have a decent following and so forth and successful, but they're not well known. There's others like Rihanna, and it's just like, okay, what is going on? Like, for Rihanna, I guess, it doesn't really matter for her. Like, she can, like, release them, not release them. Either way, I feel like she's just gonna make her more famous. But let me see if I can pull up any of the other names. I honestly, like, I skimmed through the list and I was just like, that's ridiculous. But I honestly haven't, I can't remember any names. Kaylee Cuoco, who was on Big Bang Theory. Gabrielle Union, don't know who that is, but she's apparently a well-known actress. And Hope Solo, as I said before, athlete. Scarlett Johansson, who I believe had something very similar happen a few years ago, and that sort of blew over, similar to like the Chris Brown thing. They were leaked, blew over really quickly. Most of society didn't even know about it because they didn't care, or it just didn't spread because no one really cared. And I guess members of One Direction as well, Ariana Grande, maybe, Hilary Duff, maybe, but yeah, you can figure it out yourself, I don't know. And Hayden Panettiere. So just random celebrities, and I think it's bizarre that this is going on, and it's just like, wow, it's very interesting how human nature is. And I think I do want to do a video on social society as a culture, and how it definitely has a sort of repressing thing. So like, despite the nature of females to be sexual, they can't display that publicly, or it's just naturally, because of culture, looked down upon. And I think it's just a good representation. Like, hey, it's just another example of how a lot of females out there are horny, sexually charged individuals. And I think this whole thing about, this controversy and, oh my goodness, how could they do that? It's just like, I think it's, it shouldn't be the problem. The privacy thing, again, somewhat of a problem, but I do not think it's not a necessity to send nude photos like this. And for celebrities, it's kind of like, by now, if they haven't learned by now, which I don't think they will, there will be more in the future. It's just, it comes with the job, and they shouldn't have done it in the first place as a precaution. Like, it's not, you don't need nude photos to be sent of you, to live happily in life, nor do you need, is it a necessity to do that sort of thing at all when you know the risk. So for them to be crying out that much about privacy, I mean, I don't want to like call them out and say it's like completely their fault, but at the same time, it's like, it's somewhat ridiculous. So it is somewhat interesting, and that's all I really want to say in a nutshell. I'm sure I missed a few things, but that's generally what I want to say in a nutshell. And I hope you guys understood my entire message. This was pretty much an uncut video on the whole topic. And yeah, I guess it's somewhat interesting and bizarre why I was so fascinated about this. Most of my videos are usually on like other stuff, but I think it's just that, like, I always try and draw inspiration that can help me, and from what I found, I think it's like, hey, what you can learn from this is that if you don't think, if you think all females are, not are very prim and proper, and therefore you can't do anything outrageous, and you just have to be very formal and so forth. It's like, no. And also it's like, hey, you can meet, there are guys out there who can get to such extent despite these females knowing how risky it is. So I don't know, I guess the general thing is just, hey, girls like sex just as much as guys, and yeah, it's very interesting. That's all I really want to say, and as always, like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.